how to structure a creative real estate deal. Hey everybody, it's Jamel Gibbs. Listen, recently I got a question from someone on my Instagram page in regards to structuring creative deals. He has a property that he'd like to do terms on. He says it has an ARV of $65,000 to $70,000. The seller is open to $38,000 on terms. And he asked me, how would I structure that deal? So here's what he had in mind as far as structuring the deal. He said he was thinking about $10,000 down, amortized over 60 months, thinking of an annual interest rate of 3%, payments on a monthly basis of $503.12, with a balloon payment due after the 60 months of $17,803.83. So he asked me if this looks correct. How would I structure the deal? How would I market the deal? So first off, when I'm looking at a creative deal, I'm looking to get all of the basic information that you need. I previously did a video on this, on reviewing the seller script. I'll link it up at the top so that you can check it out. And you'll have the actual questionnaire that I use in my business, or that my virtual assistants use in the business, in order to be able to qualify a suspect lead and turn them into a prospect. But let's just say I had all of the information I needed. Here's what I want you to keep in mind. When you're qualifying a seller, there's two main questions that you want to ask in order to determine if the seller is a creative type of seller or not. All right. Question number one is, will you take what you owe on a property? And if you're willing to take what you owe on a property, are you open to a lease option or owner financing, if that was an option of working with us? And if they tell you yes or no, then that's going to dictate our next move. Thankfully, you told me in this particular question that you had to me that the seller is open to terms. And obviously you negotiated a price of $38,000, which leaves some breathing room there. Now, my only question for you would be, what was the least the seller was willing to take as a down payment? What do they have in mind as far as a down payment in order to get this deal done? Let the seller tell you what they're looking for down. If it's too high, then you negotiate it down. But don't ever spit out the first number. The second thing, based off of that number, I need to know what type of deal we're structuring here. Maybe the seller is willing to do a lease purchase on it, right? That deal will be structured completely different than a deal that is seller financed, all right? But let's just assume, based off of your numbers, that the seller is willing to do a seller financed deal. There's a couple of things I need to know. I need to know if there's a mortgage on the property, because then that's going to tell me if we're doing a subject to deal, if we're wrapping the loan, or if we're doing a straight owner finance deal. So you can see how that little bit of information is crucial when it comes to understanding how we're going to structure this deal. But again, let's assume that based off of what you told me, we're going to assume that the seller is doing owner financing and the seller doesn't have a mortgage on the property. Based off of these numbers, $38,000 can work. We would just negotiate the monthly payment, which will be based off of the interest rate that the seller is comfortable with as well. The next thing you need to find out is the length of time that the seller is willing to allow you to finance this property. So you told me 60 months. What if the seller is willing to do 30 years? Don't shortchange yourself. The way you structure these deals is based off of what the seller tells you. All you're doing is making it enticing to the seller, and you're being creative in doing it. You're on the right path, but I don't have enough information to be able to tell you how to structure your deal particularly, but these are just some things that I would personally be looking out for in the long run. Now, as far as exit strategies are concerned, there's a lot of different things you could do. You could assign your owner finance contract or your subject to contract. You can do it through owner financing. The same thing you could do wholesaling houses, you can do in owner financing. Creative investing, you could do the same exact thing. Or you can turn around, and one of my favorite strategies is taking the property, let's say subject to owner finance, lease option, sell it on the other end as a lease option, based off of what the market rent rates are. In essence, what I'm doing is I'm collecting money 3 times on those types of deals. Money up front, money every month, and then money when I sell the property on the back end. I hope all of you benefited from this. And be sure to share this video, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you on the next one.